So you want to know how to manage your interview anxiety and have your interview go as successful as possible. Well, I'm going to teach you these 5 super successful tips that have helped me land all the interviews that I've been in so far. And I promise you these will help you in the long run in general with interviews. So let's get straight into it. So to give you a bit of background about myself and how my interview anxiety started, without going way too much into it, and you can see the whole story here in the link above me, I was in an abusive relationship in my young 20s, which caused me to call in sick a lot for the job I was currently in at the time, and that caused me to be fired, and that caused my interview anxiety to develop after that. I was just super anxious in general, so I'm going to teach you these 5 tips that I've learned over the years that have really helped me, and now I am currently a manager in 2 different jobs right now. Not too shabby. So my first tip is a mindset tip. Go into it knowing that they have no idea who you are. Whenever I went into an interview back in my young 20s, I had this notion that they knew everything about me, they knew my life, they knew what was going on, and that they would judge me straight off the bat. But none of those beliefs were true. I was future predicting and catastrophizing all these situations in my head because I was in such an anxious place. But knowing what I know now and all the interviews I have ever been in, they don't know who you are. They don't know what you're about. They have no judgments to base you off of other than your resume. You can go into the interview as a clean slate and to be able to sell yourself. So I hope that initially relieves some anxiety off of your back. Tip number 2 is to rehearse. And what I mean by this is record yourself or practice in front of the mirror how you would talk and how you would move in an interview. And when I say move, I actually think it's really important to watch your body language. Body language takes up more than 50% of the kind of communication that we as humans have in social interactions. So your body language plays a lot in how you portray yourself in interviews. So for example, with me, I notice that when I talk, I move a lot with my hands and my head moves way too much than I would like to. After going through all the interviews I had been through and noticing the little mannerisms that I have and being able to rehearse and record myself, I was able to spot these little tidbits about myself and just adjust them. I have also been interviewing people recently. Body language does play a lot in having them choose the candidate. You might think this detail is super minor in the way you conduct yourself, but it really makes the difference between choosing you and choosing someone else. My third tip to nail that interview anxiety is to search up all the practice questions that you can find that would relate to what you're applying into. You want to go into the interview knowing what to expect. Even though all the questions might not be the ones that you've looked up, it still helps to look at all the possibilities of what kind of questions they could ask you, because even if they word any question differently, you already have an answer prepared in your mind and ready to deliver to the interview. This shows that you have confidence, this shows that you are prepared, this shows that you care about the position and you are not as nervous as you might actually feel. And prepare yourself. Just keep practicing and prepare yourself. Bridging from that point number 4 is to be fully prepared. And what I mean by that is prepare your outfit the night before. Prepare your travel plans the night before. Think of all the possibilities of accidents or traffic delays or anything like that that could really slow down your progress in the morning from being very efficient, because you don't want to get caught up with a surprise that could cause you to be even more anxious going into the interview. And get all those things organized the night before. If you need to pack any pens or if you need to print out any extra resumes, get that all done the day before your interview and be fully prepared so there are no surprises in the technical aspect for your interview that day. You might think this is tedious, but this actually saves you a lot of time, and from my own personal experience, a lot can happen the day of the interview. Things don't go as planned, but if you prepare the night before, you are ready to go. This relieves a lot of the anxiety off of your shoulders, and you can just know that there's one less thing to worry about going into the interview. And last but not least, my last tip for interview anxiety is another mindset tip, and that is going into the interview already believing that you have the position. There's actually a psychological link to the interviewer. If you start to speak in words or vocabulary implying that you already have the job, this convinces them psychologically that you are the person that they're going to hire. And it works. I've been doing that for the past couple of years, and this is how I feel like I've gotten to get the positions that I'm in. This also helps build up your self-confidence, because in a way you're trying to convince yourself too that you're made for this position, that this job is yours. So you just need to keep that in mind. Go into the interview thinking that you already have the job, and it'll also show to the interviewer that you are confident in getting this position. So there you have it. I hope you guys learned a lot from those tips and you apply it in your next interview. I promise you these will help you so much, and if you struggle with anxiety, these tips will help it be just a little bit easier going into the interview. And if you guys like this kind of content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I go over how to glow, grow, and thrive from trauma in my channel, and I'll be talking about a lot of more topics related to stuff like this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you land that interview wherever you're going. Bye!